Hello, Libra, and welcome to your transformational life coaching reading for the next 6 weeks, Libra. All right. And of course, I'll be delivering it, your favorite transformational life coach, coached by Karen. All right, Libra, let's get into it. I know it's been a while since I've been doing readings, but business has been busy. And anyway, what matters is we're back together now. Okay, here we go, Libra. I'm going to pick 2 cards. One will be representing you, the first one will be, and the next one will represent the situation that is the most significant during this time. All right, here we go. So you are the Knight of Pentacles, Libra. All right, so you are in the midst, I would say. You are very careful. I think you're about to make an investment of some kind. You are in the midst of contemplating what you're going to do with your resources, your money, because even though, I mean, this is basically the Knight of, this is the Knight, and Knights are action. The Knight of Pentacles takes his time because he wants to consider all facts, all scenarios before he will start investing in something. And so perhaps there's been a new, we've got this great big shiny pentacle here, your coins, right here, Libra. So perhaps there's been, either a little windfall of some kind, or, maybe an inheritance, or someone's gifted you with something and you're very, really, or there's been an opportunity. Now, it could be study, it could be moving home, it could be investing, in whatever you've got, coins, whatever, whatever you have there. But I feel, I mean, that's just where you are. You're just in a very pensive place, and even investing your time with people and things to do. So I find that you're just kind of really thinking about, with that pentacle there, I feel like there's a new something to consider, a new something in your life, in your world to consider, and what we're going to do with that and how, right? So we have the 5 of Cups as the situation. So the 5 of Cups, of course, traditionally represents disappointment. And this is the situation. So there has been, but it's past, right? It's already happened. And, I feel like maybe a disappointment. I mean, and that can be anything. Yes, it could absolutely be heartbreak. But it can also be maybe, a job that you had hoped for didn't come to fruition, or it didn't work out as well as you'd hoped and you had to move on. Yes, a relationship or a project, or, anything that was close to your heart, because it is Cups, right? So something that or could be like anything you wanted to do. It could be a trip, absolutely anything, or a pet, perhaps a companion animal, for something. But I feel like with this Knight here, this Knight of Pentacles, I feel that, if there was a disappointment, if something didn't roll out the way you hoped at some point, you're still, considering a new opportunity though. So, maybe things didn't work out in a relationship in the past, whether it's the same one or a different one. Here's a new opportunity to move forward, to consider, to think about what we're going to do here. And because I feel like, you aren't really lamenting. You're not spending a lot of time feeling sorry for yourself about what happened here at all. Maybe some of you were, but you've managed to dust yourself off. Now, another thing that just came up to consider here for some of you, Libra, might be, we don't want the past where things have been disappointing, where something didn't work out with somebody else, or another job, another company, another project, another client, or whatever that was, right? Don't let that affect where you are now. So just, make sure that you're ruminating, and you're contemplating around whatever it is. Just make sure that, you're seeing things clearly. You usually do, but we're human, right? And we just want to be making sure that we're seeing things the right way here. All right, let's get some details. Let's get into some oracle cards for you, Libra. You're usually so very balanced, and the Pentacles part of this is being very practical. The Cups part of this, well, that's the emotion. And so maybe for some of you, you really are maybe just for a scenario, for a moment. It doesn't have to be an ongoing thing, but it's something that, asks for your attention. You may be trying to balance, heart and, it's not really head, but rationality, which is your head, but, practicality versus, something. So I just feel there may be a little bit of a back and forth there, a little bit of a balancing act in some way. Because, for some of you, you could be, making sure that you're planning so that, whatever happened in the past doesn't happen again, whether it's with a new situation. Because unfortunately, sometimes we can drag, hurts from the past or disappointments from the past into a new scenario, which isn't fair. But again, we're human. But, just it's good to be aware of if that is your scenario. If it's not your scenario, it's not your scenario. That's okay. That's great. All right. So let's keep going. All right, I'll need these. Here we go. So we have, what if I had the deck upside down? There we go. Doesn't matter. These are read upright. Oh, golly. Insects, number 21. Vigilance is necessary at this time. Heed the warning. Interesting. Yes. Okay. Thank you for confirming that. Beautiful. All right. Roses, number 39. The soft petal felt upon your flesh is ready to release her thorns. Yep. All right. Very, very good. Now, this can go one of two ways here, and it depends on who you are and what's going on in your life. Okay. So obviously, each and every one of you is not experiencing the same thing. All right, two things here. I feel like, let's be aware of what we're thinking. Let's be aware of, where this is going. Let's make sure that we're not going to drag any past things into the future. All right, into the present and into the future, right? The past is the past. Let's make peace with that and leave it there. This card is so lovely. This card actually means that we end up with somebody who we may not have ever thought would be our type. And yet this person has been solid, rock solid, and, has really shown up. And, you can see her. She's just like, something's gone on. Maybe there has been a disappointment somewhere, or maybe, and she can lean on this person. Rock solid for her. That's what this card is about. And this card, it's like, pay attention. Pay attention to things. Vigilance is necessary. Heed the warning. So again, maybe for some of you, you might be dismissing something or someone because it wasn't, they aren't showing up in the form that you expected or hoped for, or, tried to manifest, whatever the case is. So I really do feel, I just very strongly feel, Libra, that this is a, don't, just be careful before you dismiss things. All right. Make sure that you're okay to let it go, because I don't think it'll come back if you do. So just, again, like I said, with that Knight of Pentacles, it's kind of really thinking about, what am I going to do? Where am I going to put my energy? Am I going to put my energy? Okay. And then we've got that situation of a Five of Cups. Now there could be something that, does arise, and it surprises you how wonderful somebody is there to support you. Right. Let's keep going here. Let's see. Answers will be forthcoming. Just a second. Let's keep going. All right. That 21 could be significant, the number 21 with the insects here, to be aware. But 2 plus 1 is 3. So something could, manifest in a 3. And you've got this in a 3, actually. Yeah, you've got 30. So 33 might be significant in some way. Is it an address, person's age? You were born in 1933. Good for you. I don't want this to sound sinister, but I just feel it's like we're not noticing something that we need to notice, is really what I'm kind of feeling here. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's get some other cards. Let's see what's going on here. Because wait a minute. Because I mean, here she is, right? She's kind of focused on what went wrong, and yet there are two wonderful cups. The two of cups are here. You know, something didn't go, and another three, right? Three. You might want to Google that or find whatever that is for you. Usually, it means spirit. Your guides and angels are with. But I feel don't miss out on something. Just be, I don't know, you may be underestimating somebody, and their value. Okay. Now, if somebody's underestimating you, well, shame on them. All right. Just a second. All right, my darlings, hold on. Yeah. Because with that card, the roses coming out, that is like, she is just like so relieved, even though he was not what she wanted. She was so relieved. The soft petal upon your flesh is ready to release her thorns. So maybe you're pushing back on somebody. Maybe you've held somebody at bay. Even if you're in a close situation, friendship, romance, business, maybe you've never really quite allowed yourself to open up to that person for fear of being hurt or disappointed or, whatever the case may be. So just feel this is a case of notice what you're noticing and notice how you're feeling about it. All right, so let's see. I like that. Yes, luck is on your side. This is a yes. This is a yes. New moon in Sagittarius. Well, this is action. This is, communication. This is something like, and it's electric. And this is great news. So Sagittarius is 2 signs after you. It's toward the end of the year. So, maybe something's rolling out and something is going to be set up that will be very nice. I like it. I feel like, surrender to the divine. How interesting. I just can't help but think that, taking a second look at something, I feel that you may have kind of overlooked or undervalued something, someone, I don't know. Or maybe people in your world are undervaluing it. And that could be slightly, silently, softly, subconsciously influencing you and how you're viewing a situation or a person. So just be very careful about that too, because, even when you're, if someone is constantly kind of saying something, even if they do it out of the goodness of their heart, they think they're protecting you, they think they're doing you a solid. You keep hearing that, your subconscious is picking up on that, right? And that can alter how you relate to that person or to that thing, right? To that situation. So just be very careful there. Oop, there we are. For 6 weeks, please. 6 weeks for Libra. What does Libra need to be most aware of? All right. Heart of the matter. Ooh, wish fulfillment. Ooh, the 9 of Cups. That is wish fulfillment. Yes, it's like everything you've ever wanted. Look at how she's like, oh, I love that. Just so happy. So, like, are you happy and somebody else is kind of, maybe they don't think that so-and-so is good enough for you or this job is right for you or something. I mean, I'm just feeling like, I don't know. And I don't think it's malicious. It better not be. But, I just feel, I mean, people will express their opinions, especially if they feel like they're helping, right? Wow. Yeah. Interesting. So this is crossed by temptation, which is the devil. So is there a temptation? Okay. Just be, Is there a temptation to keep thinking about the past? Because that's what this is. Is there a temptation to think that you can't move forward? Is there a temptation that, maybe, if other people are thinking whatever, that you're sort of trapped in a bit of a, something, and there's also, I feel a little bit of a potential for some of you, right? If this isn't your story, don't make it your story. But I feel like there might be a little bit of a potential for some of you that you felt that some sort of past situation, job, company, person, was all that in a bag of chips, or that you've had an expectation in a certain way. And even though the person that's in front of you, or the job that's in front of you, the situation that's in front of you is actually, it's what you've wanted. Now, if it isn't, for heaven's sakes, like, just do what you need to do. Okay. Like, this is a general reading. This is for somebody. But when we're tempted, we're tempted to, ignore things, or, or distract ourselves, or stay in, thinking the same way, or, drink it away, or whatever the case, right? So I just feel there's some sort of avoidance, potentially happening, and you've got something really great right in front of you. All right, 10 of Earth, yeah. So this is whatever's going on, whether this is a job, a new situation, this could be a new home, this could be a windfall, this could be a major inheritance, new job, or like really successful job. 10 of Pentacles is like you're living in the castle, right? You've got a solid relationship. If you're not with someone, that's okay too. You've got a solid relationship with yourself, solid relationship with your money. And, so that is absolutely, that's the foundation. So there's something very good here. And I don't know why. It's like there's just this buzz of uncertainty or unwillingness to, subconscious or otherwise, to recognize it, I feel, in a way. 3 of Earth, recent past, 3 of Pentacles. This is, again, contemplating, who are we going to work with? This is collaboration. So for some of you, you may have started a new job, new group of people, new relationship at some point. Past, this is the past. And, so again, maybe you're still feeling your way through that, not sure, haven't made a final decision truly. You could be going through the motions, but you're still not 100% in the game. She's come out quite a bit. So present energy is the messenger of Earth. And so this is again, you've got the Knight of Pentacles twice. So you really are thinking about your resources, your money. There's a lot of thinking about what you're investing your time and energy in. For some of you, maybe you want to do one thing with your money, and somebody else in the situation, whether it's, again, like a business, you're co-owners of a business, or a partnership of some kind, or just colleagues, or life partners, or siblings, or whatever you've got going on. You might be at odds a little bit about, how we're going to use our money, how we're going to spend it, where we're going to spend it. Okay, I kind of feel there's just some sort of friction. There's something, 4 of Pentacles. Look at all the Pentacles. You've got 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, messenger of Earth. You've got, which is the Knight of Pentacles twice. You've got that 2 times. And now you've got the 4 of Pentacles. Very interesting. So the 4 of Pentacles, and that is in your immediate future, the 4 of Pentacles here, 4 of Earth. So this is about realizing that you always have what you need. This is like you always are provided for by the universe, and you have enough. So, maybe, does somebody need to tighten the purse strings or loosen them up? Because this can also be about holding back, right? This can also be about that energy if we don't have enough. Right? And then we worry so much about that, then we get into the 5 of Pentacles where you're really freaking out about it. And, and that starts to cause problems. But, I feel it's like you've got what you need. And you may come to that realization because that is your immediate future. Oh my gosh, you've got, now your energy, is the King of Earth, King of Pentacles. Look at all the Pentacles. This is, I'm going to say, absolutely, this is job, this is home, and partner, and other people. It's not just about you. So, because the king is, the king of the kingdom, right? And regardless of whatever gender you identify with, but the king of Earth, you may be feeling like maybe some of you are retired, or you've sold your business, or you're very well to do, and you're kind of like semi-retired, or you have, with that 10 of Pentacles there, sensational, maybe some of you, have an inheritance, or, because the King of Pentacles, he's not working really anymore. He might show up and just to say hi to everybody, and, maybe have a meeting before he goes golfing or something like that. But, you know, really, the King of Pentacles has worked hard. Now, he's very loving, very kind, very fair, worked really, really hard, had his nose to the grindstone, worked his way up, and made it happen. And now he's got loads of cash, loads of dosh. And, you know, he can enjoy it now. So maybe that's where you are. So there could be, you know, just some money challenges about, you know, what we want to do, what we need to do. And I feel like because you're Libra, you may be trying to just kind of like, you know, avoid some friction of some kind as well, right? Like we don't want this to turn into something that it doesn't need to turn into. So the energy around you is the Ace of Water. Well, you know, I feel like there's lots of loving energy going on here. Um, you know, so that's wonderful. And I feel again, because it's an ace, that there's a new opportunity. Like I don't know, there's, you know, a deepening of something, or just, you know, seeing things in a healthier, happier vision, perception. But it's like, you know, I feel it's like there's lots of goodness around you, Libra. It's very nice. Now you've got the Queen of Air, which is actually you, but this is your advice. So the Queen of Air, she speaks her mind. She's very clear about what her boundaries are, and she has absolutely no problem, no compunction about sharing that with other people. It's like, here's what I need, here's who I am. She is able, and of course, that's why it's you know, air energy. And, you know, she is able to articulate what it is that is important to her, what it is she wants, needs, etc. You know, no wishy-washy, you know, I mean, she's gentle, you know, because there's lovely, lovely energy around here. So, I mean, there could be a new love or a new project or a new baby, a new pet, a new, you know, something there's some softness definitely in the air here. But your advice is to be clear and to articulate yourself so that you are not misunderstood by anybody else, and you can hear yourself say this. So, I mean, the advice could be, you know, maybe both parties, or however many parties are involved in this, you know, everybody should, you know, articulate what is it they need, what is it they want, what are they capable of, what are they willing to do, you know. And there just seems to be some strategy, but not in a, you know, but just in a communicative type of way, you know, so that things don't get out of hand. All right. So lovely. The outcome is the Six of Air. So, you know, maybe this is over a trip or a move, quite possibly. And it's like, okay, well, no, I want to go here, and no, I want to go there. Somebody wants to go to Alaska. Somebody wants to go to, you know, Aruba, you know, whatever it is. And it's like, well, I feel like this comes together because the Six of Air is moving on from challenges, right? From maybe a disagreement, or, you know, whatever it is, but we've moved on, we're moving forward, and moving forward, well, hopefully together. But anyway, I mean, I'm doing this reading for you, Libra, so you are going somewhere, or you're moving. But, you know, it's like we're just moving on, we're moving to calmer waters, we're moving, you know, calmer waters. I love that, you know, it's just like so gentle, so nice. Maybe so, I guess somebody won, whoever wants to go south. This is definitely reminding me of, you know, something a little more warmer than the Alaskan waters. But anyway, I mean, I feel like it works out because you've articulated yourself, right? And so has somebody else. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, if money was an issue, maybe there was a big bill that came up for your business, your personal life, whatever it is. But I feel like there's money around here, and I feel like there's a little gift that comes in and maybe saves the day, or somebody somehow finds money, or they do a quick little side hustle to, you know, bring in some cash or something. But yeah, just, you know, make sure that everybody doesn't, you know, go back into their old ways. It's like, no, we need to communicate here. We need to talk about this. We need to make sure it's okay. So there you go. I mean, usually you are very, very good at that, Libra. And but this is just a reminder that let's be good at it this time too, for whatever this scenario is. Okay, here we go. Let's get some messages for Libra. Okay, I feel like this went on for a little bit for you, but all right, Libra, for Libra, please. Okay. All right, you got a bonus here. All right. Okie dokes. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. I don't know which order, but let's, whatever order here. Okay. Tough and trying times. Tough times ahead. Think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all costs. Interesting. Twists and turns. Carefully made plans could be thrown out the window as major changes and interruptions surround you. Make sure you get lots of rest to cope with all the upheaval. Reinvent yourself. A transformation is taking place. Enjoy a new lease on life. Well, you've had some aces here. And commitment. A commitment is indicated around love or business, and it will make you feel better. All right, those are great. Let's get some more just before we wrap up here. All right. Oh, I better shuffle that. Okay. Oh, ooh, yeah. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Yep, 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 yep. All right. Nice. And okay. So very quickly, my battery's going to die. You've got Tree of Life, true wisdom, and making good choices in life. You have prosperity, a prosperous business with riches and success, and you have safe and happy travel, protection from harm when journeying. All right, that's looking good. Libra, before my camera goes off, take very good care, and I wish you a great 6 weeks. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.